Welcome, everybody. So I love it that you are here. And today I would like to introduce you to a course I have developed, a course for people who wants to be surprised by themselves and who wants to feel alive. It's Bebudibe. It's a creative quest, and Bebudibe means the be of being, and the Budi is an awakening from the inner, and then be again with the power of God. And so in that course, we will go also in a relationship with ourselves and with others, where we support ourselves and have joy. So I would like to speak a little bit about creativity. So who of you is in Subud? I think the most people here are in Subud. And you know, through the Latihan, we develop our humanity, and humanity seeks for expression. So the Latihan. So we develop our soul, the blossoming of our soul, our very own culture. This is the creative, the living. This is a fundamental life sustaining need of the human being. So in my case, for example, I discovered new talents by following the Latihan. And I had one experience when I was a while in Subud. I visited Rungansari, Kalimantan, for the first time, where, by the way, we will have also our World Congress. And in the first Latihan in Rungansari, I heard a voice, and it was like a thunder within me saying, "You are," and and my mind was so surprised, and then I said, "No, I'm not," because I couldn't believe that I am an artist. Of course, I was a creative person. I played theater, I sing, I'm painting, but to be an artist and to have all this concept of what an artist is was a surprise for me. And also I was a little bit scared about it. And yeah, so the Latihan arose, and I felt that deep vibration within me, and it was as if I was being shaken awake. So I have a question for you. Do you think you are a creative person? Because this is the first key to creativity. You have to believe that you are creative. That is something will come out of you. Your creativity is always there. It's just a matter of allowing it to come and not standing in its way, I would say. So, and then a few years later, I had another experience. I was pregnant and I lost the child in the first month. And I processed this pain by painting. And the whole painting process was very moving for me. I stand in front of the canvas and I started, and suddenly I was painting a baby. And this surprised me. Was what comes out of me. And this was exactly my theme. So it was not planned, and my body was shaken. And in this process, which went over many days, like 3 or 4 days, I also got fever. I felt very weak and I had to lay down. And then also in other moments, I felt like I have to dance, and I was shaking, and I felt that vibration from the inner, the Latihan, and I felt like I'm just a channel, and I danced with the brush in my hand, and the brush danced through over the canvas. And then in one moment, the painting was ready, and it looked at me, And I looked back. And in that moment, the painting merged with my grief over the lost unborn child. And I cried and I laughed at the same time. But I was full of gratitude. And so I had discovered a second key: letting go, surrender, the joy of doing. And from that moment on, I felt I want to have more of that. I really liked it. So I studied painting, and later I became an art therapist. And I wanted to share this possibility of healing, of liberation with many people as possible. So I painted. So I know painting is not for everybody. Normally if we think of creativity, we think of arts expression like singing, acting, dancing, writing, but it is more. There are many doors. So maybe you have to think, what is it for you? I would like to share my screen now to speak more about the doors and show you something. So this was my first painting. I haven't had painted before. This was the first one where I had this strong experience. And so back to creativity. So creativity is an act of putting new and imaginative ideas into practice. Then it looks like this. You combine these dots. And creativity is characterized by the ability to perceive a work in a new way. And then it looks like this here. So to find hidden patterns, to make connections between unrelated phenomena, and to find new solutions. So for now, I would like to invite you for an exercise if you would like. Do you know that exercise here? Now we have some dots, and the task is to combine the dots with 4 lines, and don't put away your pencil from your paper. Did you get it? Normally, when we try, it looks like this. Then we find, oops, it's not working, because we think in this box. Our thinking is still in the box. And one solution is, should I show it? Did you find it? So like this. But I have done this also with children. I found this exercise in cards of developing your creative thinking. So, and then I did this exercise with children, and they found other possibilities. They said, I could do that in 3 lines. So, and then it looks like this. And another child said, I can do it with one line. And she did it like that. So lots of possibilities. So I stopped. So we have different doors to step into our creativity. And as I said, it's only a matter of uncovering it again. Everything is already there. Children have it. When I go to a kindergarten and ask children who wants to draw a picture, who wants to dance, who wants to sing a song, who wants to tell a story, everybody will raise their hands and say, yes, me. But when I ask this question, the same question to the same people 20 years later, hardly anyone comes forward. They say, I can't, sorry, I can't sing, I can't, no, I can't paint. No, I can't. So what happened to us? For me, so also as an art therapist, I went on a search, and for me, it seemed like we have forgotten how to express ourselves with pleasure, joy, and creativity, how to connect with ourselves, and how to express ourselves freely and free-heartedly. So as an art therapist, I have found out that in our Western culture, also when I work with people, creativity is often a fearful thing. Or you would love to do something, but you don't do it because you are the daily life is full of function and you doesn't find time, and so you don't do it. Maybe behind that lies also the experience of being criticized and judged, graded at school when we sing, when we paint, and so we feel we are not good enough or we are afraid to show up ourselves. So giving space to this inner feeling, giving it as expression without knowing what is happening, what is coming out of us, and whether anything is coming at all, can be scary. So when I was acting, improvising, I was always scared to step on a stage. But in the same time, I loved that feeling of stepping into the unknown. So I think it's about getting back into the relationship with ourselves and giving space to one's own feelings and sensations. It is about having trust and being in that trusting silence and just letting it come. Like now, when I'm getting nervous about speaking with my English. Yeah, sometimes it's not so easy. So, but yeah, Bebudibe is a creative quest where I would love to give this loving space, experimental space where we could be free from judgment. It also helps us to let go our own judgments and to be surprised again and to open up with a group of like-minded people. If you are willing to experiment. So I would like to invite you to do another little exercise of leaving our comfort zone, okay? So I don't know if you could see now the people on a screen. So, okay, if you have your material, then select a person here on the screen. If you have a person, then draw him or her. You have 30 seconds and I will stop the time. And if you hear this sound, then you stop with your drawing. Okay, then let's start now. So stop. So how was it for you? What was that? I have, you will show it. Cool. That's cool. So I will also share it here. And maybe we could guess who is who. Oh my, can you see? This is Sushil, Andrew.
Yes. I think Galiana did Oliver.
Yes, correct.
I did Andrew. Very simplified.
Yeah, this is Dalyani.
Yeah, I can recognize my scarf.
Yeah. Cool. So how was that for you?
Social, that's Oliver.
Ah,
Magdalena.
Magdalena.
I did Tagliani.
Oh, you did Dalyani.
Yes.
And Rusydah did Magdalena. Yeah.
yes. So how was that for you? Was it fun?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Painting was fun. The result was awful.
So yeah, sometimes then when we do something that's not familiar to us, it could be scary. But yeah, I have also heard some laughter. And I haven't heard this, sorry, I can't paint. Maybe someone was afraid. But better if not. So here's another key. We also could look at it like a game. Be playful again. Just think of the things you would like to do. You would like to be creative, like as a game. In a play, we take a little risk. We leaving our comfort zone because we have fun and it's joy and we feel safe. We try something new like a child. And this is another thing. Yeah, connect with your inner child again. And then you become more courageous, more self-determined, and that will definitely have an effect of your whole life. So this is a creative, the living, this is the basic of life sustaining need of a human being, I would say. Be playful again. So we played already a little bit with the pictures, so we guessed who is who. And where is he here? So then maybe we go on with another exercise, like scribbling like children. So for that, you need colored pencil and an A4 sheet and fold it like this so that you have 2 sheets and another one. So we need 4 A4, A5 sheets. Yeah? This and another one. Or you use one, paint here, here, and in the back. So you have your colored pencil and then choose a color. Put the pencil on the paper. close your eyes and scribble on the paper as quickly as possible with closed eyes. Now, like this, you know. Like children do. Just scribble. Yeah. Now open your eyes, choose another paper, another one, and another color, and take the pencil in the other hand. So if you are a right hand people, then use now your left hand. And again, put your pencil on the paper and scribble with closed eyes as possible, as quickly as possible. And now take another sheet, choose a color, put the pencil on the paper, close your eyes, and now again, but very slowly and mindfully. And stop. And again, take a pencil, choose a color in the other hand. Take a new paper, put the pencil on the paper, close your eyes, and again, scribble very slowly but mindfully. So, and stop. And now, look at the 4 pictures. Which one do you like the best? Did you find one? Yeah? So now you have 7 minutes and draw them out. What do you see in there? Does it show something for you? Maybe you see an animal or a face. So what do you see? Bring it out. Or maybe you just want to paint it in colors. Just do it. So how was that for you? Who wants to share or to show us the painting, the picture?
I'd be happy to start.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, I'm Andrew, everybody. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Here we are. So, first off, I have no color pencils close by, and I realized, I must be a very boring person. All I have is my ballpoint pen. Very, very limited in what I can express, but I did the best I could with that. So, I'm right-handed, and so my right hand scribble was very dominant and very forceful, and when I filled it in, it's a rooster running, carrying a football, in case you didn't know. And my non-dominant side, my left-hand side, is this creature who suddenly appeared and jumped up.
Wow.
And that was the quick version. So then I go back to do a deliberate drawing and so on. And this is funny. On my dominant side, I have this guy with a lot of swagger, and yeah, he's. I think he's trying to learn to sing. If I could put another dimension. And on my weaker side, this was what came out. Sylvester, I'm going to call. Sylvester is on the prowl looking for excitement. So those are my offerings, folks.
So this is interesting, Andrew. So you choose all the 4.
Yeah.
Scribble and then draw them out, all four.
Yeah.
Interesting.
With my pen, my ballpoint pen, I didn't have any, as I said, I didn't have any color pencils. I have to get some color pencils and have them close by, so I'll be able to do this properly the next time. But it was fun. I had fun, and I scribble all the time, making notes and so on. But to do it in this sense, to feature it and to do it deliberately with and have the experience of both hands, the stronger hand and the hand that just sort of there and isn't used most of the time, was very interesting. Very interesting. I'm sure there's some deeper something trying to get out of my psyche and express itself, but it wants to come out and play.
Yes. Is there someone else who would like to share and show the painting? You don't have to. So if not, it's also fine.
No. It's, I mean, just after Andrew, you know, mine is like nothing, and I'm still at the stage of starting to learn. Couldn't do anything with that, and nothing with this one. So I'm far away from getting something from my gribouille. Maybe I need more time or more color, whatever.
And how
Interesting.
was it for you, Mariani?
The first one was okay, but when I had to get something out of it, I was desperate.
Ah, interesting.
Kind of, okay, I'm already not going to do anything with that. I try. Yeah, maybe this
Good.
one is the best I could like.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of color, so.
So yeah, maybe you need more colors, more inspiration. And also you can twist it around and look at it later, and maybe it comes later again. A little
Okay,
bit.
if I leave it on my desk, if I get something, I
Yes.
send it. I send a picture to you. That was fun. Anyway.
Okay,
What?
so
Ah, yeah. Tell us.
hi.
Hi.
So I could only draw one, and well, yeah, it looked a bit like scribbles. But then when I had to make something, I just felt like this is an eye and this is a mouth and a bit of colors then. I just, yeah.
Cool. And how was it for you?
Honestly, it felt different. I don't know, it just felt like something like refreshing. Like I don't have to capture everything, to have everything under control the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, then we go on. Yeah. I would like to invite you to a third exercise, if you like. So, as I said before, to be creative, it is also important to find that flow feeling. Maybe you felt it when you closed your eyes and you scribbled. And we also discovered, so what I said, another key is to do it like a child. Connect with your inner child. So the so-called flow. I would like to invite you to think, when and where did you have the feeling that everything was in flow? Where you felt like absolutely present? Have you ever had such experience in your life before? Take a time, think about it. if you remember a situation, maybe you can write it down for yourself and think about where was that, who was with you, what did you do. So you have 5 minutes to think about it and write the situation down. My life in a flow. You can take it with you every time. You can think of moments where you felt in the flow. Because when you do that, you bring it back into your present life. So how was that for you? Is there someone who would like to share?
I'm happy to jump in and share what I got. As a child, I liked to run and climb. That's when I felt most alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember I used to love running in the twilight as the sun had set, and there was this twilight glow across the landscape, across the lawns. And when there's less light, it sharpens your senses. Smells become more vivid, and the tactile feeling of running across a lawn and the grass. And I would just go out and run, and I felt like I was going to develop wings and take off. It was exhilarating. Not this is sort of what I'm experiencing, but the inner feeling was of, my goodness, this is so wonderful and free. And so if I had to feel, when did I feel most creative in my life? I would think as a child that was the time where I could be completely in my body and yet experience the world in an exciting new way. So that's me.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
Yes, I had a completely different experience. For me, it was that I feel the flow when I'm working from my true inner. And I had several projects in my life that I could realize, mostly with children and with women. And I really felt the flow when I could share my inner truth. And I felt that somebody is touched. And then there was something that, and the flow was this connection with the human being, with the people, with somebody who was in the room or meant to be addressed. And this is something that really lifted me up, and it has a lot to do with personal sharing and meeting other person's truth, and so that the flow is something that comes together. Yeah. So it's coming together with the other human flow, with the other human being, and have the same flow.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so the feeling of being in the flow, I think we can learn it again when we remember situations in our life, and maybe we could bring back some conditions, meeting people, feeling nature. I'm convinced that we are all creative beings. We are all creative because being creative is a purely human gift. And yeah, so what helps us when we would like to develop our creativity? This is also one key to remember when we have been in the flow and created it again, to find out what do we need to be in a flow and then create that situation for us. So also in that program of Bebudibe, this creative quest, we will discover more tools for us, what we could, how we could create that field of creativity for us. So finally, I would like to give you more tips to overcome creative blockage. I have already mentioned some keys here, but yes, what do we do about blockage? Is that the right word, blockage? You understand me, right? So when we reactivate our creativity, a lot of sometimes unconscious thoughts and feelings are in our way. So what helps me to come again in a flow was writing morning pages. Maybe you have heard about that. I love this book. It's in English called The Way of an Artist, and I found that tool here in that book from Julia Cameron. Writing 3 pages, write down everything that is there in the moment without judging it, and because then you stop it. So write, I don't know what I should write, it's boring, where come this noise here, I don't know what to write. Write it down, everything you think and everything you do or feel in that moment, just let it out and write it down. 3 pages. And then after that, don't pay attention to it anymore. If you do it for a while, it will help you to create your flow, because it helps you to be aware, to understand what's going on within you. And also it could help you to find out what's important for you in the moment. It's clearing, it's a clearing. And you can do it for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month. Then you can stop and do it again. So this is a great tool to come again in a flow. So another tip is meet your inner child. Ask yourself what my inner child wants to do. Maybe you would like to have an ice cream, or you would like to dance. Feel it for a moment. What would you like to do? What is it your inner child would like to have? Do you know your inner child? Did you felt it sometimes? When I speak about an inner child, do you know what I mean with that? Yeah? Give me a sign. Yeah, good. There's someone who knows what I mean. Susha said, don't know. It's the feeling of when you remember when you was a child. What was it what you liked? Or like Andrew shared with us his experience when he was a child. So, and let it come back again a little bit more, your inner child, and connect with that feeling, a positive situations in your childhood. So, and another thing is express your ideas. If you have an idea, we have a lot of ideas during a day, do it. Put it into life. And through that doing, something will happen. Often we don't do it. We said, I could do that, or this is a nice idea, but we don't do it. So my tip is do it. And then surprise yourself what will come out of it. Another tip is engage with things that nourish and touch you. Because the more you bring it into your life, the more it will enrich and inspire you. So what is it? Sometimes we need to find out, what is it that nourished me? What is it what inspired me? So first we have to find out it. And then, so for example, for myself, I like to go in a museum and see other paintings. And if I do it regularly, it is a time ago that I have done it, but if I do it regularly, then I could really feel that the inspiration with my own paintings come back again, because I had this inspiring from the other artist. So in such a way. So, and the last one here I have to you is ask questions. Be curious. For example, when I paint and I do live drawings, and sometimes I come to the border of a taboo and I feel blocked and I don't know why. And then when I ask myself, what is it now here? What blocks me? Then I becoming aware of it's this taboo. And then I question myself, what would I paint if I could paint everything? And then the blockage is free again. So ask questions with yourself, and also being interested again in the life that brings more life to you. So finally, I'm coming to the end. Thank you so much for listening to me. And maybe you have some questions. Now we have time for questions. But before, I would like to mention, I hope I would see you in the online course, Bebudibe, My Creative Quest. It will start on the 5th of July. It's a Friday, always Fridays, 5 times. And if you would like to have more information about it, then write me. My email address, you can find my email address in the chat. So, do we have some questions? Hey.
Go ahead, Sushil.
Rusydah, I had a question. So at the end, you mentioned that when you were painting, you would get to a place where you had like a taboo feeling that prevented you from painting. Like, can you tell us a little more about that? Was there something like an incident or something that prevented it, or like could you go into a little more detail about why it stops you from expressing what you're feeling there?
Because we all have these things of feelings, sometimes negative feelings, shame, negative thoughts, and we have an past of our growing. So maybe also in our childhood we felt we wanted to do something, and then the adult said, you can't do that, you can't do it. So that's still within us, these negative thoughts, or I would say I like this expression of we have an sunshine inner child and a shadow child. So, and if I do something like when I talked about the taboos, we have a association. For example, I have done an exhibition in a, what is the word, Rathaus? In a public political house. I have done a live drawing exhibition with naked people. So And then they told me I can't show them. So I painted a leaf and covered all the erotic zones of the body. And then in my exhibition, I discovered them. People could take off the leaves. Yeah. So we have something in the society we can't do. And we have it, I have it inside. And when I express my creativity, it comes to that burrows within me, and then I feel blocked. So, and then for me, these question myself helps me. What would I do if I could do, well, if I could paint everything I would love to paint, you know? And then I'm free again, because then I'm aware of the blockage, and then I can step over it. So awareness helps a lot. Mm-hmm. Does it help, Sushil?
Yes, thank you, Rusydah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about my own blocks that I'm aware of. When I was a child, my mother was a very shy person. She didn't like attracting attention. I think when she was young, she was an only child, and she felt that if you attracted attention, people would either make fun of you or whatever. So her strategy in life was to avoid attracting attention. And I was her firstborn, and so she had this very lively little baby who, as any baby, was the center of attention. And you know, you feed on that. But I can remember as a youngster, she kept telling me, "Oh, you're just doing that to get attention." So the message from her was, you shouldn't try and get people to pay attention to you. That's wrong, or it's embarrassing, or I don't like it. I was certainly aware she didn't like it, and she was my mother, so I wanted to. I mean, you're hardwired to love your parents, so I wanted to please her, so I kept quiet. I didn't express, but to me, I guess as a youngster, being creative meant letting that stuff out, and I guess she, you know, it was makes me sad to think about how she felt about it, and also the impact it's had on my life about avoiding attention and not, you know, if I feel I'm attracting attention, I dampen it down. So, and that's without showing the erogenous zones.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah,
thank you for listening.
Thank you, Andrew. This is also, there's another key in it, because we have it within us, the voice of our parents. It's still there within us now. It's not out there, it's within us. And another key is then to allow ourselves. Now I'm a grown-up. Now I can do it. I allow myself to get attention. So this is a good example for the shadow child, yeah, for all these things that are within us and blocks us.
It's almost a question to Andrew. Andrew, how did you manage to address that blockage issue that you mentioned? That does that story have a happy ending, like where you were able to express? Where you
I'm sorry, Sushil. No, it's been a lifelong struggle. Not a struggle, but I'm aware of that limitation of not wanting to attract attention, and I'm certainly aware of the impact it had on me as a child, at school and so on, where I would avoid. Like the teacher would say, who knows the answer to this question? And I would never put my hand up because I didn't want to attract attention, even though I always knew the answer. but I would never put my hand up to say, I know, like when kids are little, they love to, say they know something. I mean, that's part of the joy of being a kid, to show off. Children should be encouraged to express themselves. So I can't say there's a happy ending, but yeah, growth. I mean, what is life about? Life is about growing and discovering who you are, and it's a path of discovery which never ends. I'm in my 70s now, and I'm still learning about myself and about the world.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for Rusydah, folks? Or any comments they'd like to make about the presentation?
Yes, I want to say thank you, Rusydah, for bringing up this format. And I'm really happy to see that we develop more tools and to connect and to talk to each other. And it's really great to see how things evolve over the years. And and I think that this creativity helped me, for example, a lot to express myself, to express my feelings, especially by painting. So especially painting spontaneous and coming from my inner, which is often not connected to any person or subject, just that I learned that my feelings are more in direction of colors or just forms, or that there is an inner music that leads me. And yes, I think this is very exciting. And it showed me that there's so much in me that I can discover. And that showed me also that that there is a lot of distraction in the world that wants my interest. And now I feel that that with this creativity, I'm much closer to my inner truth. So thank you for this evening. It's great.
Thank you.
Maybe I share something which comes to my mind is first of all, thank you, Rusydah, and then the creative processes, they're very, very important for health. And apart from that, actually, what I noticed is that the moment it's very important to do it actually late in the night, just before you go to sleep, because then it creates that, in a way, relieving and relaxing place where you connect with your nervous system, your motoric. You use your hands and you use your eyes in a very, very positive and very healthy way. And that when you when you go to sleep, then you will have much better sleep quality, and that integrates into your nervous system during the sleep. And the next day you are a better person. So that's healthier and more, and then you can start again the next day and build up with the creativity of that. So that's more like with the physiological side of it, but it's we can see in the world at the moment a lack of creative activities, and so that that scribbling and the morning pages, and you can do anything, singing, you can do humming. Humming is scribbling with your voice, you know, and do some movement exercises, make funny movements. That's scribbling with your body. So that kind of ideas may be put out there. So it's a very nice. I'm looking forward. Where are you going to present your course? Is it do you have your own platform, or are you going to have it somewhere? How do you organize that?
It will be live sessions, and then
Yeah.
I need to find a platform for videos where you could download. If you have some tips for me, I'm very open for it, Oliver.
Yeah, maybe we can we can organize once a meeting for the online teachers. So that would be that's
Cool. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I will contact you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
And I like this idea of scribbling with the body. Maybe this is a good end, that we all scribble a little bit with our bodies here. Do some funny movements.
And when before sleeping, it has to be the slow one, which you told. You did the slow scribbling that you do. That's good. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
So thank you very much, Rusydah.
Thank you. So,
goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.